The Eyieunoto Nabaya Maasai Community organisation was officially formed in early 2009. Following a particularly severe drought in 2008, in which the community lost most of its livestock, a group of young elders recognised the need to take action. Their vision is a community that continues to live with and honour the traditional Maasai culture, but that is also more sustainable and capable of dealing with the changes that are occurring due in no small part to global climate change. The organisation has been established as a self-help group. Whilst they're happy to accept help from outside, they recognise that it is up to them to find appropriate solutions to the problems that they face. And even though they live lives of great hardship, you will never find someone who feels that they're a victim. The community live in an area of about 5,000 square kilometres to the south of Nairobi. The group is managed by a committee of 19 men and women and led by Emmanuel Mankura. I first met Emmanuel in 2008 when he was in the UK with a Maasai cultural group. When we were exchanging notes early in 2009, I realised the severity of the problems that they were facing. To quote, "Our cattle have died and people are starving, but we will survive because we are the Maasai." I offered to provide what limited help I could on the understanding that I did not want to control how the funds were spent or invested. I've seen too many examples of well-intentioned aid solving problems that either do not exist or are not priorities for the people involved. In December 2010, I visited the community, in part to see how much they had achieved and because they wanted to initiate me into the community. I have seldom felt so welcomed and found the trip inspiring and humbling at the same time. What I have been able to do has only been possible due to the generous support of friends, colleagues and associates, and it was on their behalf that I accepted the abundantly generous thanks of the community. But in the true spirit of self-help, what we have done is simply prime the pump. The community have done so much more for themselves, as I hope you will see. What follows is a brief review of the progress so far.
We are so grateful today. This is our bees project, which we got help from Chris Saroni Howe from the UK. We are so grateful because of the support you gave us. This is what we have done, and as what already our community members have said, we are trying very hard and we'll try this. We are training the community. We are trying to tell the community that there are many ways to get income. One of the ways to get income is keeping bees. So if everybody can keep beehives, we can get honey, and then from the honey, we sell the honey and get the things that we want. So we thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you indeed.
Ashe. The Bee Project was the first investment made by the group, as honey is not just a potential source of revenue, but is also a multi-purpose medicine and food source. Having invested in the hives and education in apiary, the project is progressing well, and the plan is to use all of the money that can be raised from honey sales to purchase more hives and educate more people, so that eventually each family in the community can be equipped with several hives of their own and thus have a source of food and income. The Maasai are traditionally nomadic pastoralists, and in addition to cattle, they have long kept herds of goats. With increasingly uncertain rainfall and thus usable grazing, it is important that they increase the productivity of their livestock. Their goats are relatively drought resistant, but give poor dairy yields, and so the group decided to invest in a cross-breeding program to create a community herd of more productive goats. They have so far purchased about 30 new goats and a healthy ram from good dairy stock. In December, we tagged them to mark them as the community herd. The plan is that through breeding, this herd will be increased to approximately 100, at which point each family will start to be given a small number of the newly crossbred goats, thus increasing the yield that each family has from its own individual herd. Building on traditional skills is important, and the Maasai have long been renowned for their beautiful craft work. The market in Kenya, however, is competitive and limited, and the key to increasing potential revenue is innovation. With a very small amount of money, the ladies in the group invested in some simple tools in order to enable them to create new products. The plan, over time, and again funded from the increased income that they can create, is to build a small workshop so that they can increase both quality and efficiency. Perhaps the thing that would most help, however, would be direct access to new markets in countries like the UK. Namoyan.
Oh, it's for me?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much. Asholing. Very nice. Very nice.
Turn to me, son.
Oh, wow.
So you always were a bit of a trendsetter.
Well,
You've got number
I've
one.
always been on the edge.
You've got number one.
Yep.
And next year they'll all
Everyone
want one.
have 'em, right.
The whole of Atlanta will be going, when do I get one of those?
That's beautiful.
Saroni, we thank you so much. The money which you sent to us, we have done all this work for you. And you have been for a blessing to us. You have uplifted our efforts. Some of the money we put in the machines. We also put some on the beads. Because we buy beads and we buy the threads which we use.
The Maasai are of course famous for their singing and dancing. This group has been formed to entertain visitors at local country clubs. But what they really need is the chance to travel abroad to countries like the UK and the US, to share their culture and their sense of joy with other people. These children are all bright, hard-working and full of great dreams and ambitions. They want to become engineers, doctors, nurses and lawyers and help the community that has helped them. The only problem is that secondary education is not free in Kenya, and the fees of about £300 a year per student can only be paid if their parents sell livestock. Hard enough in most years, but impossible when your livestock have all died in a drought. Shortly after I left, the community held its own fundraising event and raised the incredible sum of £1,500 from within the community itself. The education of their children is that important to their future.
But I am praying God that I'm going to make, because of course it doesn't matter how much challenges that I have been through, but what is there is only determination and hard working. My parents does not understand the importance of education, so even as I try my level best to do this, they don't understand that this organization has been trying to help us, and even encouraging, not even helping just, but also encouraging us to pursue in our studies. So the main challenges are now school fees. We don't have school fees. I personally, I have been being sent home frequently and lacking to attend some lessons because of such challenges. In fact, my dream, as per now, I want to be a lawyer. I want to be a lawyer right now, because now our community, our community has been so much depressed, because now they don't have people to speak upon them.
Yep.
Now I need also to be, to be their lawyer now, to help them in future. And above all, I want to help the community of the Maasai community, and my parents also. My parents, I love them because they have made me the way I am. Even if there are so many challenges, but above all, I love them.
Perhaps the most humbling episode in my visit was when I was taken to the home of a young widow. Her husband had died, leaving her with 3 children, and she's HIV positive. She's struggling to survive, and so the group used a small amount of the funds that I had raised, combined with money that they'd raised themselves, to buy her food, clothing and a goat, as well as some money that was raised on the day. When I asked how long the food would last, I was told it could last as long as 4 weeks, but was unlikely to, as she would no doubt share it with her friends who were equally disadvantaged. I just didn't know what to say. Pleasure. Blimey, who carried that all the way up here? And so to the future. The self-help group will continue to do good work, and with the help of others, I will continue to do my best to support them. If you'd like to help, and there is certainly no expectation that you must or should, but all help is very welcome. Even small contributions can make a huge difference in Africa, especially when the community seems to have the ability to take each pound that is contributed and turn it into 10 or more. You might want to sponsor an individual child through a year or more of secondary education, for example, in which case that can easily be arranged. But perhaps the easiest thing to say is that if you are interested in helping or finding out more, please feel free to contact either myself or Emmanuel using the details that are currently showing. Most importantly, however, thank you very much indeed just for the time and attention that you've already given the group by watching this short film.